Meanwhile, reports of rapes, not just one but 5, have raised the question of the safety of Indian women once again. 3 of these occurred in and around India's capital, New Delhi. The victim in one case was a 7-year-old girl, and in 2 other cases which have been reported from West Bengal, where questions are being raised over the law and order situation under Mamata Banerjee after a spate of violent incidents. Now, 3 of these shocking atrocities which have surfaced in the past 48 hours have been reported from Delhi and adjoining areas, once again putting the focus on the appalling lack of safety in the national capital region. Whether it is Noida, Faridabad or Delhi, these horror stories continue to make us question, is this what India stands for? In Noida, a schoolgirl was abducted and raped in a moving car by 5 young boys and then dumped on the road. The boys even filmed the act and threatened to upload the same on the internet if she opened her mouth.
पहली बार नहीं, दूसरी बार करा मेरे को कितना। पहले भी सौरभ ये बहुत लड़कियों के साथ गंदी चीजें कर चुका था। इससे पहले उनको लगा कि मैं चुप हो जाऊंगी, मेरे को बोलता कि तेको जब बोलेगी तब आना पड़ेगा।
But the shocking negligence of the Noida police have only added to the victim's insensitivity. The Noida cops have given away personal details of the victim, who is a minor, including her address. Instead of hunting down the perpetrators of this ghastly crime, the police also made unsavory remarks about the girl's character, saying that she had willingly had alcohol with her rapist. Listen in.
उसके कुछ जानकार मित्रों ने, जो कि उसके पड़ोस के रहने वाले थे और पूर्व से क्लासमेट्स थे, 23rd को एक राहुल नाम के लड़के का बर्थडे था, तो 24th को ये लोग प्रियदर्शनी पार्क सेक्टर 12 के आसपास मिले। सेक्टर 12 के पास में उस लड़की के पिता की शॉप भी है, वो वहाँ पर आती जाती थी। मिलने के बाद चूँकि ये बर्थडे पार्टी के लिए उसने रिक्वेस्ट किया, तो इन लोगों ने वोदका पीने की बात मानी और वोदका पीने के लिए 24th की इवनिंग में गिझौर के पास ये इकट्ठे हुए। ये लोग वहाँ से लेकर एक I-10 गाड़ी, जो इन्हीं में से एक और अक्यूज है हिमांशु, उसकी गाड़ी में ये 3 लड़के लेकर के सेक्टर 53 के पास, जो कृष्णा लॉज है गिझौर के पास, उसके पीछे वहाँ पे गाड़ी में इन लोगों ने, जो साथ में थे 5 लड़कों ने, इसके साथ बलात्कार किया।
And senior Supreme Court lawyer Majid Memon joins us on the phone line with us, and also joining us is our correspondent Priyank Tripathi. Mr. Memon, coming to you first, this is really insensitivity and callousness by the Noida police, revealing intimate details about the girl instead of tracking down the real suspects. What action should be taken against these officials?
Well, it is very unfortunate that the police should behave in this kind of an irresponsible manner. You know, we have been watching on the television screen the SP concerned, or the officer who has been briefing the media, you know, has been talking about the details of the victim girl, revealing her name and all her details, which is in fact not permissible according to the mandate of the Honorable Apex Court. He ought to have known this basic provision of law. And in fact, the tone in which he has been talking, we have had the opportunity to hear him, was as though a defense counsel is speaking, who is defending the suspects or the accused. And it is very irresponsible, apart from causing further trauma to the victim and her people. It is also affecting adversely the truthful investigation. You are not supposed to, even show the photographs of the suspects or give the details of the suspects right away before your investigation even reaches some important point. Now, it is at a very preliminary stage. You have to very delicately collect evidence in a matter of this kind, where a young girl, minor girl, has been allegedly found to have been gang raped by more than one person. This is a very sensitive case, and it required highest professional investigation, which has been totally, betrayed by the conduct of the officer concerned. It's highly condemnable.
Absolutely, Mr. Memon. Let me also point out that the police have not only given out the intimate details of the victim, but have also clearly named all the 5 suspects at this point, which might, as you pointed out, compromise the case. Let me go across to Priyank now. Priyank, as Mr. Memon was pointing out, the callousness of the police officials is extremely condemnable. Do we expect any action against this particular police officer?
Yeah, definitely. The UP administration is thinking about it, and probably they'll issue a notice to the concerned officer who briefed the media. Right now, the Women's Commission from Lucknow have ordered a notice to the concerned officer who was briefing media in front of everyone and giving the details of those details which shouldn't have been shared at that moment. Definitely, we are also checking from the IG made a change that whether strict action is going to be taken from against this cop, and definitely the way UP police have acted in this case is a shameful thing, and UP administration have to take strict action against these cops and those persons involved in the case.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely, Priyank. Let me go across to Ms. Let me also go to Ms. Ranjana Kumari, who is joining us on the phone line. Ms. Kumari, thank you for sharing your views with NewsX. Your opinion on this shocking callousness by the Noida police, revealing intimate details about the victim and adding to her trauma.
Well, this is an unpardonable mistake they have made. This is, this speaks volumes about the knowledge of law by the law enforcement agency. They cannot be more crude and ruthless to the victim. This is totally unacceptable, the way they have, let her name, her address, everything be out. This almost looks like the people have lost total sensitivity. As well, they are not at all sensible people in the law enforcement agency. They should be, the people responsible should be identified, who really released all these details to media. And also I have to say something about media, that why did they, knowing well that this is under the law forbidden, even if they got the detail, why did they publish it? Why did they start advertising her name and her address and everything? It's really, at every level. This is not only at the level of the police, the level of the people who really then publicize it are also equally responsible.
Well, Ms. Kumari, let me point out, at least in NewsX, we have not exactly revealed the address, and we have also censored the bite at which he mentions those details. But the issue we are trying to focus is on the fact that it's not just insensitive on behalf of these police officials, but this also has a serious chance of jeopardizing the investigation by revealing not just the identity of the victim, but also the suspects, Ms. Kumari.
Yeah, you are absolutely right, because the whole issue is about being careful to do proper investigation, and in this case the girl is also being exposed. How can don't they understand the kind of social stigma that is attached to being a rape victim? This is whole family will be put under so much of social pressure, social kind of shame. This is insensitive. This is not only insensitive,
absolutely,
this is being totally careless.
Absolutely, ma'am. Let me go back to Mr. Majid Memon, if you're still okay. We seem to have lost that connection with Majid Memon. We'll get back to him soon enough. But Ms. Kumari, do you believe that this apathy and the callousness of the police is also to blame, not just for the fact that why such incidents keep happening? These are 3 incidents which have happened in Delhi in 24 hours, and also the fact, is this also to blame for the fact that in very few of these cases do the guilty parties actually get the punishment they deserve?
See, there is a larger malaise. That is the whole problem, that the police in some sense doesn't really take the crime against women as one of their top priorities. They just deal with it as almost as if any smaller crime that is happening around. Rape is such a major crime, is the most heinous form of crime, and still police is not getting prepared for it. There is need for better training. There is need for better, developing a whole team. We are all the time saying that you create a task force for that. You create a kind of a team of policing, police personnel who can rush to the spot, who know what to do immediately, who knows do's and don'ts in this situation. But, this is not, there is no response of the system. You see, every time 3 cases have happened within 24 hours, tell me what kind of a response have you heard from the police? Have you heard anything?
Absolutely
from
none
the
at all.
people,
None at all.
And the police? So this is what the whole thing is. You know, they keep it almost as if this is the last
Absolutely, Ms.
priority.
Kumari, we get your point. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective and your outrage with us on NewsX. Clearly a very shocking incident, and police will have to answer as to how they could let such crucial details slip. It's time for a short break, but up next, on the 10th anniversary of the Godhra